Welcome to the Spokane Technical 2-year or 4-year college fair. We're so excited to have you with us for this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Danielle, and I will be the facilitator throughout tonight's event. Before we get started, I just have a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Make sure to check out other opportunities to visit with our college representatives at the end of this session. And this session will be recorded, so be sure to check out the recording at strivescan.com/Spokane. I'd now like to turn it over to our very first presenter, the University of Wyoming.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us. My name is Katie Carroll, and I am very excited to spend the next 6 minutes sharing with you a little bit about the University of Wyoming. We are located in beautiful Laramie, Wyoming, about 2 hours north of Denver, Colorado. We sit at 7,220 feet in elevation, so our big joke is got oxygen. The air is thinner up here, but it is a gorgeous college town, and we are very proud of the many opportunities for our students. We have a total enrollment of just about 11,800 students with a student to faculty ratio of 14:1 and an average class size of about 30. We're very fortunate to have 90% of those classes taught by professors. And last year, approximately 86% of our graduates did have a job within about 6 months after graduation. So we are really focused on what comes next after your education at the University of Wyoming. We truly live in an adult playground for outdoor activities. So we have over 100 miles of biking trails, 2.9 million acres of national forest. We joke that pretty much anything you can add an ing to other than surfing, you can do within about 30 minutes of campus. Some of our points of pride: we are a Division I school, so we have Division I athletics, club sports, intramural sports, a very large fraternity and sorority life program through our Greek system, lots of different student organizations, and a big focus on student government as well. One thing that's hard pressed to find, we are very focused on our students, and with that, our alum are very proud of this institution. So there's a lot of love and loyalty that goes into the University of Wyoming. We offer over 200 different areas of study, everything from accounting to zoology, and it's very easy to double major or even add a minor at the university. A whole list of our programs can be found right here on our registrar's catalog. The nitty-gritty, how to apply to the University of Wyoming: we look at high school curriculum. So 4 years of English, math, and science, 3 years of social sciences, and 4 years of any additional coursework. We do ask that at least 2 of those years are sequenced. So a Spanish 1, a Spanish 2, a dance 1, a dance 2. We do also look at GPA. We would ask that you have a 3.0 GPA or above. Rolling admissions is our process. So with this, we do have both a common application that you can complete or through the common application, as well as a general application on our website. We have a $40 application fee, and then we would look for a copy of your transcripts from high school. We have gone test optional for the fall of 2022. And if you are looking at any of our direct entry programs like nursing, they do have a February 1st deadline. This last slide specifically talks about our scholarship opportunities. We do offer these for all of our out-of-state students, and they range anywhere from $2,500 a year up to our WUI rate of 150% off of out-of-state tuition. Here is our contact for our Pennack area, and we look forward to having you visit the University of Wyoming. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Katie. We will now hear from Seattle Pacific University.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, and thanks for joining. We'll go ahead and get started. here. For those of you, since you're coming from the Spokane area, Seattle probably is a pretty familiar place. And here at Seattle Pacific University, we are able to offer that big city environment on a small campus. It's a good mix for those of you that are interested in a smaller school with a liberal arts education, and grounded in the Christian faith. We're about 2,700 undergraduate students with an average classroom size of 21. So if you're familiar with more hands-on classes and strong relationships with your professors, this is definitely a good place for you. As I mentioned, we are in Seattle proper. We're in a residential neighborhood called Queen Anne, about 15 minutes from the city center by bus. So close access to all the fun down there while still being on a traditional style campus and a little bit of a quieter area here in Seattle proper. We are a pretty academically rigorous school. We have 69 majors and 59 minors available to you. You can see all of our different offerings there on the screen. A lot of different programs. Some of our top programs that we are well known for are music therapy. We are the only school in Washington state that has a music therapy program, nursing, our School of Education programs, pre-med programs, engineering and computer science. Those are all some of our top programs here, and business as well, before I forget about that too. No matter what major you end up going into, we have a strong mentor network here. We can connect you with SPU alumni in your field of choice. You can learn a little bit more about the ins and outs of your particular career field and that future, what you can expect going forward. We have a great career counseling center as well, whether you know exactly what it is that you want to do, or if you're having a little bit of difficulty discerning where your passions and your gifts lie and how you can use those to contribute to a particular future vocation. We have that support there as well. Student life is definitely really important. This is a place where you're going to be learning and growing academically as well as personally. We want to make sure that you're having some fun while doing so. We have a number of different clubs on campus based on particular hobbies of interest or academic areas or cultural heritage as well. If you are an athlete, we are a D2 school. So if you're thinking about playing at the collegiate level, we have that good balance of strong competition as well as space to focus on your academic studies. If you're interested in sports, but maybe not that competitive, we have a pretty robust intramural program too. And for students that might be first generation or coming from traditionally underrepresented populations in higher education, we have special departments and communities for you on campus too, starting with your admission process here. As counselors, we're here to guide you and help you figure out that journey. There's a lot to learn and a lot to explore as you're looking at different colleges. So don't be shy in reaching out and asking those questions. We're here to support you in that. When it comes to our application, for those of you that are seniors this year, you'll want to make sure you submit your application, whether on the Common App or on our SPU specific application, and ask your high school to send in your official transcript as well, whether electronic or by snail mail. If you've been able to take the SAT or the ACT, you're welcome to submit those scores. You're also welcome to submit letters of recommendation and interview with us if you so choose. All three of those are optional and not required this year. Really what we're looking for in our applicants is an academic and writing ability, a strong foundation to keep building upon at the college level, and mission fit. Are you the kind of student who's wanting to dig a little deeper and learn as much as you can about your academic area of interest and learn especially about how to take that knowledge and put it to good use in the outside world and in your community? In terms of timeline, I usually recommend to students, if you can, apply by the early action deadline of November 1st. The application is free by then, and you will hear from us in December or January instead of by March or April if you apply by the regular decision deadline. If you're interested in nursing or business, and especially in vying for one of those direct admission spots to those programs, you definitely will want to apply by that November 1st deadline so that you can be considered for those programs as well. And then of course, make sure to file that FAFSA or that WASFA so we can take a look and see what your financial aid package will look like. We are a private institution, so that sticker price looks pretty high, but 95% of our students receive financial aid, and we have a range of of financial backgrounds on our campus here. That's one of the reasons why we really encourage students to file that FAFSA. Let's take a look at what your financial aid package might look like after receiving your need-based aid and your merit scholarships as well. We offer a range of scholarships. All of those that you see on the screen here, we review your application for to see if you qualify. You do not need to submit an additional application to be considered for these scholarships. Kind of depends on what you've been doing during your high school time. And the grades that you bring in, as well as some other pieces of information too. One that I'll pull out is our in-state matching scholar award. If you happen to meet the requirements for that, you could be eligible for a baseline tuition rate that would be the same as an in-state UW tuition rate. If you're a college-bound student, we have our Falcon-bound program as well, and you could be eligible for free tuition here. Finally, make sure to come and visit. We are open for visitors. We'd love to host you on campus. Spend some time here, see what it's like to actually be a student, meet some professors, meet some students here. We have some virtual opportunities as well, and a scholarship tied to visiting if you are a senior too. I hope to see you visit soon, or at least connect with me. My information's on the screen there, and I look forward to hearing from you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. All right, we will now hear from the Community College of Spokane.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shelby Dickinson. I'm the student recruitment manager, specifically at Spokane Community College. Glad to be with you today. And I am covering the District of Community Colleges of Spokane, which tends to be confusing, but we have two separate colleges housed under one district, our other counterpart being Spokane Falls Community College. So I'm representing both today. And I'll keep cruising through here. So a bunch of reasons why students end up coming to us at Community Colleges of Spokane, but these are a few that I wanted to hit on. Small class sizes, our student to faculty ratio is about 21:1. I like to say we have roughly 25,000 students across our district, including online and rural areas, but it feels more like 5,000 on each campus. So it's a little cozier than that. We recommend you come and see it for yourself if you are interested. And then I'll talk a little more about these other items as we cruise through. So we have tons of student support on both of our campuses, lots of unique things to us. Food insecurity is a real thing in our area, and so that's a nice thing that we offer. We also have a health clinic at Spokane Community College, which is very busy right now, as you can imagine, and a nice feature for a community college, as most don't have that. And then one other piece we definitely want to talk about, one of the main reasons why students end up coming to us is the savings. We hand out those 2-year degrees, and students are going to pay just roughly $1,500 to attend a quarter, which equates to about $5,000, a little under, to attend for 3 quarters or 1 year, which means they're walking out with a degree for maybe about $10,000, depending on any additional fees they may have or equipment needed for their programs. So this is a big reason why students come to us, is there is a lot of cost savings involved in community college. So college experience, we love for our students to get involved while they're here. There's lots of ways to do that. We have 60 plus clubs between the two institutions, as well as 15 athletic sports teams, and lots of other fun things to support you along the way. It's important as a community college that you feel all of your needs are being met, from the very baseline needs up into those more complex things like, where am I going to transfer, or what career am I going to pursue after this? We try and plug you into those opportunities while you're here. Most importantly, what do we offer for programs? If you have things you're considering, or if you're totally not sure, we can help you either way. A lot of our students are pursuing direct transfer degrees. This essentially just means they're starting their first 2 years of a bachelor's degree with us, and they're going to take that credit with them to a 4-year university. Well, they'll start with junior status and finish those last 2 years in really specialty classes for their specific program. So this is a really common path, and students mostly, again, do this to use that cost savings in their first 2 years. And then we offer a lot of unique Associate of Applied Science degrees, as well as certificates. So those are 6 or 7 quarters, 2-year degrees that are designed for students to get in and get out and start working. So if you're someone who's sitting here and going, I don't want to spend another 4 years in college, maybe these are something to look into. Lots of trade options here, healthcare, and like I said, shorter certificates, even than the 2 years. So maybe you're spending 6 months instead of 4 years, something to keep in mind. We also have great trade options through apprenticeship, 20 plus options there. These tend to be construction-based trades. Our students are actually making money because they're learning on the job instead of paying traditional tuition. On average, they make about 20 bucks an hour. And we have a great 12-week skilled trades preparation class. If this sounds interesting, but you have no idea what you're doing, you maybe never have picked up a hammer, nor do you know what trade you're interested in, that class would be a good starting point for you. We have over 150 areas of study. I encourage you to go to our website and click the What to Study link and explore that a bit more. I wish I could share them all with you today, but there's simply not the time in 6 minutes. But do the research on your own and reach out to us with questions if you have them. Next step for students who are interested is to apply for free online at either of our websites. It's really easy to switch campuses if you apply to one and decide you want to go to the other. Again, it is free. We will email students usually within a week after having processed that application with a welcome letter and next steps on how to get enrolled. These steps are the ones in the process that are going to come after applying, but before enrolling in classes. New student orientation is fully online. We really don't have a lot of placement testing in person anymore. Most of that can be done online, or you can self-place yourself into an English or a math. And then we'd advise meeting with an academic counselor or an advisor to help guide you through your program on your path here. We encourage all students to fill out the FAFSA or the WASFA. About 70% of our students are receiving some sort of financial aid. Many of them are able to walk away from community colleges of Spokane with zero debt because they qualify for the amount needed to cover school and then some while attending with us. So please do this. The timeline is on here. It's super, super important for you students. We also have a scholarship application that'll open up in January for students who have already applied in the fall, this fall season. With that, I'm going to transition to questions. I mentioned that we want students to, and we'll do questions at the end, I guess. We want students to come to campus, take a tour. If you're considering a school, this is the best way to do it. So I've included tours emails on there, as well as specific contact emails for both campuses. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Shelby. You brought up a great point. So for our attendees, you are welcome to use the Q&A box to ask questions to any of our representatives throughout tonight's presentation. We'll have some Q&A at the end, and then you'll also have the opportunity to speak with them in their breakout rooms as well. All right, let's keep it going. We're now going to hear from St. Martin's University.
Hi all. Let me get going here so I can share my screen. Let's see here. All right. Okay. Hi, my name is Emma. I am an admissions counselor from St. Martin's University over in the beautiful Lacey, Washington, just across the mountains. If you're wondering where Lacey is, we're right near Olympia, just about an hour south of Seattle on a good day with traffic, and a couple hours north of Portland. We have over 300 plus acres of trees and trails surrounding our campus, which is great because we are in some ways a little bit secluded and private, but also have great access to Target and Fred Meyer, just a little bit of ways, and great restaurants and other things to do in the Lacey area. At St. Martin's, we have an enrollment of just shy of 1,400 undergraduate students, which makes our student faculty ratio 12:1. We have an average class size of about 12 to 15 students, which is wonderful because it allows students to really get to know their peers and their classmates as well as their professors. And that can lead to great pathways in internships as well as research opportunities and create a really engaging and dynamic classroom environment. We have 31 academic majors offered at St. Martin's. Here is a list of those. This list does not include our minors. However, many of these are also able to be minored in. Some of our top programs at St. Martin's include civil and mechanical engineering, nursing, business administration, and social work. Our nursing is direct admit, so students are able to get right into nursing there and come out with a Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. One of our newest majors that I want to draw your attention to is Women, Gender, and Ethnic Studies. We know at university or college that you are both looking to pursue your academic career, but also engage with your peers and have a good time and perhaps try new things. So we have over 40 plus clubs and organizations on campus. Those can be identity-based groups, hobby and interest-based groups, as well as academic clubs and organizations. We are a Catholic Benedictine university. However, students do not need to be practicing Catholic to attend St. Martin's. In fact, we have over 26 faiths represented on campus, and that also includes students who are not practicing a faith. Study abroad is a great option for St. Martin students when that becomes up and running again. And we have over 22 different countries where students are able to travel to. We have semester-long programs, year-long programs, as well as week-long programs, depending on which timeline works best in your academic schedule. Also, a third of our St. Martin students are students who are first-generation college students, which is really important for us to know. So we are able to anticipate the needs of first-generation students and be able to help them throughout the college search process, application process, and when they are here with us on campus. We are NCAA Division II school, which is wonderful. It's great to go out to basketball games and support your student athletes. However, if you're not looking to pursue athletics on a collegiate and rigorous level, we do have many intramurals for students to participate in, like spike ball or archery tag. We do also have a disc golf course right on campus. Students can live in our residence halls. We have 4. Our first year residence halls do come with microwaves and mini fridges, so students can check those 2 major items off their packing list before joining us on campus. We give away over $20 million in scholarships to our students each year. Every student who applies is eligible and will receive a merit scholarship ranging from $5,000 upwards of $23,000 per year up to 4 years. There are also many other stackable scholarships that students can be eligible for, like if they come visit us on campus, or if they're active in their parish, or even if they just know a friend of a friend of a friend who has joined us at St. Martin's. Students have a variety of other free resources that they can take advantage of at St. Martin's, including our tutoring center, as well as our counseling and wellness center. And parking is free. So you can pick up your parking passes free of charge in our Office of Public Safety. For first year students, we are just looking for a free application, as well as official high school transcripts and a letter of recommendation from a teacher or counselor. Test scores are optional, so there's no need to submit an SAT or ACT score unless you would like to do so. And recently, we do not have an essay element required unless you are applying to the nursing program. You can apply through the Common App or through our website. And again, my name is Emma. Please feel free to call, text, or email me at any time if you have any other questions about St. Martin's. Thank you. Go Saints.
Wonderful. Thank you, Emma. All right, our next presenter is Grand Canyon University.
All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Hannah Davison. I'm from Grand Canyon University. I just want to share a little bit about GCU with you guys tonight. I'm an admissions counselor here at GCU, so I'm your one-stop shop for everything. So from the time that you apply to the time you start classes, your admissions counselors will be there with you every step of the way. A little bit about GCU is we are a private Christian university. However, we are interdenominational, meaning we do accept students from all walks of life. We are located in sunny Phoenix, Arizona, founded in 1949, and then we do offer 3 modalities, including campus, evening, and online. And a little bit about our campus. Since 2009, we have reinvested over $1 billion to improve the quality and academic offerings on campus, really just making this a home away from home for students, including new classrooms, laboratories, technology, machinery, and equipment, libraries, student support centers, residence halls, so your dorms and apartments, recreational facilities, our engineering building, our GCU stadium, and our arena. We are ranked 19th best for college campus. And a little bit about our academic scope. So we do have over 200 undergrad and grad programs here at GCU. So starting off with our College of Science, Engineering, and Technology, which is our biochemistry, molecular biology, biology, biomedical engineering, chemistry, computer science, electrical and mechanical engineering, software development. Next at our College of Humanities and Social Sciences, we have degrees for communications, government, history, behavioral health sciences, psychology, sociology, as well as social work. In College of Education, we have our early childhood education, elementary ed, as well as special education. We have a College of Fine Arts and Production, which includes advertising and graphic design, digital design and film, music, one of our newest degrees, which is social media, theater and drama, as well as dance. We also have a College of Doctoral Studies. So if you wanted to go on and further pursue your education, we do have those options as well. In our Colangelo College of Business, which includes accounting, business management, business administration, hospitality management, as well as sports and entertainment management. Next, we move on to our College of Theology, which includes Christian Studies and Worship Arts, our College of Nursing and Healthcare Professions, which includes, of course, our nursing, our healthcare administration, health sciences, and public health. We do also have an honors college, so if you wanted to be a part of that, it is free for our students. Most of our classes on campus are less than 25 students, making it more enjoyable and professors more approachable. All of our classes have a collaboration with our industry, which basically that means that GCU works with industry professionals to figure out what they're looking for in their employees and their new hires. Then we take that information back and we input these factors into our classrooms and our classes, making our students top picks for these industry professions. And onto our campus housing. So we do have 17 on-campus housing options for incoming, returning, and transfer students. So we do offer apartments and dorms on campus. As a freshman, you can live in either one. We have single, double, and triple occupancy rooms. Here in the middle of the screen, you can see kind of a bird's eye view of one of our dorm rooms. You have the middle area, which is your common area, includes a couch, a little table, a sink, and then you can bring your own fridge and microwave. On the right-hand side, you can see that there are the bedrooms, and the left-hand side is the rooms. And then one of the greatest things about our dorms is that you have in-room bathrooms and a walk-in closet. So you don't have to carry your shower caddy all the way down the hall to the community bathrooms. Your bathrooms are in your dorms, which is very nice. In addition to these apartments and dorms, we also have outdoor pools, laundry facilities, outdoor courtyards, as well as breakout rooms for studying. And on to everybody's favorite part, our dining on campus. So we do offer all of these different locations for you to be able to eat at on campus. All of our eateries and drink options on campus, you can use your meal plans at, which is really nice. And we do have 2 Chick-fil-A's. And campus events. So we have things like Midnight Madness, Mr. GCU, Dive-In Movies, where you watch a movie in the pool, Lopapalooza, Snow Day, where we bring in literal tons of snow. So you can kind of have a little home away from home experience if you're from Spokane or North Idaho here, as well as silent disco. So there's events happening all the time, making it easy to get involved and meet new people and easy to have fun. And we are Division I athletics. So we do have 21 NCAA Division I teams. Like I said, we do have a new GCU arena. And then we also have one of the things that we're most famous for is our Havoc student section. So our Havocs bring the GCU campus and community together, and our game days are like any other. And our spiritual life. So like I said, we are a private Christian university, but we are interdenominational. We do have a chapel that is optional and happens every Monday. We have the gathering, which is smaller weekly worship services on Tuesday, mission trips, as well as life groups, which are student-led Bible studies. And on to affordability. So here you can see tuition and costs. So we have been on a tuition freeze since 2009. So for the past 12 years, we have not raised tuition rates. You can see comparable here to private nonprofit four-year institutions in blue and GCU in purple. And one of the best things is we have no out-of-state tuition. And then here are our scholarship options. They basically range from your GPA, your ACT, or your SAT. And then I'm running out of time, so I'll skip here. Here's my contact information if you guys have any further questions or if you want to get down for our free trip to campus, my phone number, my QR code. I would love to reach out with you guys. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you, Hannah. All right, our next presentation will be by Pacific Lutheran University.
Thank you. I'm just going to go ahead and set up my stopwatch, but thank you guys for joining us tonight. My name is Kevin Castellanos. I'm also an admission counselor for Pacific Lutheran University, also known as PLU, here in Tacoma, Washington. Tacoma is the third largest city in Washington state, following Seattle and Spokane. So we're very similar in size of Spokane, and we're on the west side of the state, about 30 minutes south of Seattle, really close to the state capital of Olympia, and also about an hour and a half from Portland, Oregon. These are a few fun photos to look at. They're about Tacoma. Tacoma is the closest university also to Mount Rainier. So students do not only get the city environment here at PLU, like downtown Tacoma, but they're also really close to Crystal Mountain, Snoqualmie, Mount Rainier, a lot of fun places to attend if they like hiking, snowboarding, or skiing. Here at PLU, we have about 3,100 students. Our student to faculty ratio is 12:1. 38% of our students identify as students of color, and 33% of our students identify as first generation college students. At PLU, students can decide to study one or two different majors. Most of our students do come out with 2 degrees. They can study either in one of the divisions or one of our schools that we have. We have over 40 different majors that students can choose from and 50 different minors. Our School of Business of Administration is one of our most popular, as well as our nursing program that's also a direct admit. So students are able to apply during their senior year, and here if they have a spot secured in our nursing program before they even graduate from high school. We have 19 different sports across men and women that students can decide to participate in. We also have intramurals for students that don't want to play in the collegiate level, but these are a good way to get involved, stay fit, and if you don't play, cheer on your fellow Lutes. At PLU, we have over 70 different clubs and organizations that students can choose from. They range from academic to cultural, support, political, and just for fun. Clubs and organizations are a good way to stay involved, meet new people outside of the classroom setting. There's also leadership opportunities for students to get involved in, which is a good thing to put on your resume and really help build up your college experience. Studying abroad is probably one of the most popular things that students do here at PLU. Over 50% of our students study abroad at some point throughout their 4 years as students here, probably because it's about the same cost. So students usually pay around the same as what they normally pay on a semester on campus that they do on a semester abroad. So students have the options of going away for 4 months during the fall, 1 month during January, or 5 months during the spring semester. So there's a lot of options. They don't need to be gone for a long period of time. There's also summer options for students as well. And we have sister schools with all of the gateway countries that you see listed below. So your credits transfer over directly, and tuition and all of your scholarships do as well. PLU is on the Common App. If you haven't heard about that, it's a website where you can apply to the majority of schools that presented today. And its purpose is to not repeat the personal and parent information over and over again on every school's website. You're able to apply, fill all that information out once, and send that information by a click of a button to each school that you want to apply to. PLU is free to apply to. You don't have to pay any fees or anything like that to apply to the university. And our application checklist consists of your unofficial transcript, 1 letter of recommendation, so a counselor, a teacher, a coach, your essay that comes with the application, and your test scores. Those are optional. You don't need to submit them if you didn't take them or if you're not comfortable with your score. We would just give you your merit scholarship based off of your grade point average at that point. These are our priority deadlines. You do not only have until January 15th to apply. You can apply after this date. We are rolling admission, meaning we read applications all the way through your senior year. But the benefit is obviously hearing back sooner, filling out the FAFSA, and knowing about exactly what you'll be paying at each school. So that's the benefit of applying in between these dates. Our academic scholarship, or also known as merit scholarships, range from $5,000 to $25,000 per year. That stays consistent throughout the 4 years that you're here at PLU. Students can interview for the presidential scholarship, which goes anywhere from $26,000 all the way to full tuition. So essentially all of your tuition's covered. At PLU, we also have the 253 PLU Bound Scholarship. The criteria is if you have a 3.3 GPA or higher, cumulative GPA or higher, you graduate from a Washington State high school, and if you qualify for College Bound, all of your tuition will be covered at PLU. The only thing that you have to cover at that point is your housing, and there's still scholarships that you can help bring that cost down. We do have fine arts scholarships ranging from $1,000 to $8,000, anywhere from art design, dance, music, or theater. Lastly, thank you guys for joining today. My name is Kevin Castellanos. Once again, this is my contact information below. And yeah, thanks for joining.
Wonderful, thank you. All right, so we've heard from all 6 of our wonderful presentations this evening. We are now going to transition into a bit of Q&A. So we're going to bring all of our college representatives back to the screen and just take a couple of minutes to answer some general questions that might help our attendees. So our very first question is, what college advice would you give to students who are in the search process right now?
Wonderful, thanks, Danielle. So my piece of advice comes from my parents. 33 years old, and mom and dad are always still right. But my biggest piece of advice really is 2 pieces. Trust your gut and make a pros and cons list. I think for a lot of students, as you've heard from all 6 of us this evening, we have awesome things to offer. So as you're doing your campus visits, as you're doing your research, write down what you love, what maybe you weren't so fond of, and go and visit. Because when you get there for a visit, you've traveled there, you've flown there, you've stayed in a hotel, you've walked across campus, that gut reaction will tell you, should this really be where I think I want to be? So trust your gut and make a pros and cons list.
Mine would be make sure to ask questions. I know it's really daunting sometimes, but all 6 of us here are here to answer your questions and make sure you get answers so that when you finally decide which schools you're applying to, or when it comes down to that final decision, you have all of the information that you need to make a good decision for yourself.
Yeah, what about from the Community College of Spokane? Yeah.
Yeah, a few of you already hit on it, but I think if you can at all costs visit campus, schedule a trip, whether it's, during the week or whatever, work that out ahead of time, take a family member or a friend with you. That is the best way to see if you're going to like the spot you're going to be in. And I can't tell you the number of students I've had that have had their heart set on something, gone and seen it and gone, nope, this isn't for me within about 10-15 minutes, So like Katie said, trust that gut and get yourself on campus.
I would say try to chat with current students at whatever institution that you are looking at to really understand and hear about their experiences there and see if it's something that you can envision also trying out for yourself.
My piece of advice is to take advantage of all of these admissions counselors that you have in front of you. We're all great resources. We probably know more about our schools and other schools than anybody cares to admit. So just take advantage of us, ask us questions, get to know us, pick our brain about what we like, and just use us as a resource. It's our job and we're here to help, and we're happy to share everything that we know.
You guys took all my ideas, but I will say that besides the campus that you're going to be spending all that time in, I would say visit also the city, like spend a decent amount of time in that city, because there are going to be some moments that you want to just be off campus and not be stuck in the library in the classroom. So being able to enjoy the city and maybe surrounding cities as well is super important. So if you do take those trips, spend a decent amount of time in the city of that school as well.
Thank you. That's great advice. So the next question is a little opposite of that. What myth would you like to debunk about the college admission process?
Oh man, there's so many. And being a school that does rolling admissions, we don't hear this a lot specifically at the University of Wyoming, but a lot of students I've worked with have said college just isn't for me, or I'm not good enough. I'm not going to be able to get in. So I would just like to debunk that fact that I think there's a college out there for everyone. It's just finding the right place and potentially the right time to go. So yes, 4,000 plus colleges in the nation, there's a lot to pick from, but take the time, do the research, and really make sure you're finding that right fit so that you know you're at a place that's going to support you and you're going to be successful.
I think oftentimes students are really worried about how to pay for college. And as you've heard from all of us, we have a lot of different resources. Yes, college is an investment of your time and your money. It can be worth it in the end. And there are a lot of different ways to make that financing work for you. So again, ask those questions and do that research.
Awesome. One thing, community colleges, we're kind of in a weird position here for this because we are open enrollment, which means any student who applies with us who's graduated high school or gotten their GED transcript is going to get admitted. So the thing I want most students to know about our admissions process is that they should just go for it because there's nothing lost if they don't, and they don't have to pay for the application. So we're happy to be on the list of schools that you're considering, but I think just taking that first step can be the hardest part. So, utilize the resources that you have available to help you take that first step, whatever it's going to take, because it might be easier than you think.
I would say there's a lot of terminology out there in terms of college admission process. What does rolling admissions mean? What is FAFSA? What test optional versus test flying? So we try to anticipate those questions and help define all of those terms in advance. But again, if you are just a little bit lost in the process, we are here to help you and happy to answer any of those questions and define those terms. No question is a bad question. So we are here to help.
The myth that I would like to debunk is that like college is not for everybody or college isn't affordable. Like Erica said, there's lots of resources out there to be able to afford to go to college, and lots of scholarships. I would say the one piece of advice that I was given that I still tell my students to this day is that when you look at a scholarship and you think $1,000 scholarship, you think, okay, that's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but say it takes you 10 hours of your time and you get awarded that scholarship, you're getting paid $100 an hour, which is more than any job you'll have while you're at college. So apply for all the scholarships, do whatever you can to get those.
Once again, you guys have them all, but I would say, like someone else has already said, that this does take time. It's not just like you can apply to a school in like 10 minutes. So just take your time with it. Put really good applications in, because it's obvious when reading an application that took like 30 minutes to complete versus one that took a few hours to complete. Those things are very noticeable when reading applications. So yeah, just take your time and have, people proofread your essays, do all those things, because they will definitely play out in the long run.
Yeah, that's great. All right, so we're going to prepare for our last question. And in preparation for this, I want to remind our attendees that right after this question, each of our college representatives are going to drop their Zoom link into the chat. So you'll be able to continue learning about their institution after this session closes. So keep your eye on the chat right after we finish answering this last question. And this question might be the one to help you decide where you want to spend your time in the Zoom breakout. Final question, college representatives, choose one highlight about your institution that you want the attendees to remember.
That mute button every time. Oh man, one is so hard for all of us, but I think one of my favorite facts, and I'll wrap it all into one, we're the only four-year school in the state of Wyoming. So when you think land grant institution, research institution, scholarship opportunities, study abroad, hands-on experiences, everything in the state of Wyoming comes right to us. And so that I think is one of the best things about the University of Wyoming is everything is all about our students on campus. So go Pokes.
I think for us here at SPU, we are a liberal arts school, so we're all about that holistic development. So not just the academic and the vocational side, but your personal side, your spiritual side, no matter what, faith background you happen to come from, your social side as well. All of that, these next few years, this is a big time for that formation, and being able to look at everything together and at your whole self together can be a really helpful thing here.
For community colleges of Spokane, and especially at STC where I work, I always surprise students. I tell them that our average student is 37 years old. So it's pretty diverse in age and also socioeconomic background, which surprises some who know Spokane well. But it really is a cool place to learn and be exposed to different things. And I will leave you with maple bacon jalapeno donut. It sounds weird, but try it. Come to our bakery and our baking students will get you one. Trust me.
That sounds delicious. I would say for St. Martin's that we are really big on community in all aspects of what we do in academics, as well as just living on campus and recreating on campus as well. So if you want to join an awesome community of wonderful individuals and alumni network, St. Martin's could be a good place for you.
Here at GCU, we do have a community and a culture that's really, truly unmatched and unlike any other, and you feel at home right as you step on campus. So I do encourage all of the students out there to take advantage of our GCU Discover Tours. Come down to campus, see what it's like. It's an all expenses paid trip to see if you're meant for GCU and if this is where you want to call home.
For PLU, besides like the academics and community, I'd say that if you're interested at all in like studying abroad, PLU is definitely a good option to look at. Like I mentioned in my presentation, over 50% of students do. So when I was a student there, I went to Spain for a semester. It was probably my favorite thing that I did as a student. So, and like I mentioned, it's the same cost. So a lot of students go to PLU for that reason. So I think that's one of the biggest things for us.
Wonderful. So now our attendees will have the opportunity to decide which breakout room they're going to go in. So our college representatives will include those links into the chat. And while they're doing that, I just want to thank you all for joining us, sharing this time with our college representatives. I hope that you enjoy your time in the breakout rooms. When you close out of this window, you are going to receive a quick survey, just 5 questions. We would love your feedback so that we can prepare for sessions in the future. Want to also encourage you, like I said, to take advantage of the breakout room time with our college representatives. And you can also refer back to this presentation in the recorded section of strivescan.com/Spokane. So I'm going to give it a couple more seconds just for you all to grab those links out of the chat and make sure that each of our representatives had a chance to include that information. Wonderful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. All right, we're going to close out the session. Hopefully everyone was able to grab those links from the breakout room. Thank you to our college representatives for being with us tonight, and thank you to the attendees. Have a great evening.